In a few seconds, it took Fluttershy to charge into the duplicates. Her mind was a buzz of activity. She felt herself sick of what she had to do. She counted down the stairs, hoping to get through this while avoiding violence. But now she had found herself charging towards them with intent on killing. She quickly glanced behind her to see her friend charging and smiled. "They are far braver than me," she thought. Despite all that had happened, the fact that so many died for nothing, they wouldn't give up. Not while their families, their country, and their friends were in danger. She admired that greatly. He had such a boost of confidence, she willed herself to see this through to the end, whatever end that may be. She cleared her mind of her thoughts when she noticed the line of duplicates in her way. She prayed silently that this would be quick. Any longer than her friends could take, then they would all die. Duplicates all lowered their weapons, forming a wall of swords and spears for the 6 points to charge through. Where's I? Despite the obvious danger she was in of getting skewered, felt herself grinning. She felt her Dragonlord instincts kick in instantly. The blank, and yet fast-acting mind of a warrior began coming into play. She was glad it was for once, for she needed it more now. For the sake of her friends and their families, it was time for her to uphold her vow. So only a few feet away was she suddenly leapt into the air, dived towards the two she had picked out. Firewing and Dragespane came out of their scabbards, singing as if anticipating for the battle to come. Firewing went through the stomach of one, while Dragespane went through the chest of the other, sending them both to the ground without harming Fluttershy at all. She rolled and kicked her hind legs at the next two in front, sending them both to the ground and making them drop their weapons. She pulled her swords out of the two who were originally fallen, and hit the blade of the duplicate with them both. She pushed the duplicate back, and with Dragebane cut off the right leg, and with Firewing tore out the belly. She spun around that one, slashed across the arm left quickly before moving on. Another came at her with a spear. Another came at her from behind her. She veered away from the spear point, got hold of the spear, thrust it in the chest of the duplicate behind her. She broke off and spun around the spear holder, stabbed through and back up quickly, then pulled away to take on the next one. She was in a sea of opponents, so she knew she had to be quick and brutal, while others, meanwhile, smashed into the duplicates together with the force of her train. Before they knew what was happening, 10 of the duplicates were dead and melting. Now her friends were hacking, slashing, stabbing, decapitating, firing bolts of spells of any duplicate that stood in their way. Butterseye smiled out before turning back, galloping forward once more. She reared up when she went up against one with an axe and deflected the attack that remained against her with Firewing, slashing out to the neck with Spade and spun away. She met another attack from one with a spiked warhammer, blocking the hammerhead with Firewing, slashing across the stomach with Dragespane, then across the chest with Firewing. She pulled away, pushing the melting creature aside, galloped forward once again, ducking away, diving under the legs of some of the duplicates, tearing the legs apart with her wing blades as she did so. As she tried to get to the duplicate controller, it wouldn't make any difference how many she took down. All that mattered was to control her. She jumped up, smashed another into the ground with her hooves. They reared up, blocked a swing from a sword with another with Firewing. She pushed the sword away from his arm, spun around, and bucked hard on her knees, cracked like a nut. The duplicate went down on his ruined knees, screaming in pain. Thursday spun back around, reared up, put her hose above its neck, and then twisted its head hard and fast, breaking the neck. As the creature went down, she looked up and locked eyes with the controller. It too snared and saw her, before turning around and started to run away from the duplicates. Fluttershy gritted her teeth. "Come back here!" she yelled. She pushed the gurgling creature away from her and ran towards the controller. Noticing her carrying, the other duplicates were now ignoring her. She barged her way through, sending some to the ground, slashing indiscriminately at others with their swords, while wing blades tore open any that stood too close to the sharp edges. She suddenly found herself in open space, with rows and rows upon duplicates behind her. She took a deep breath, and looked up to see the controller running into the darkness. She growled, prepared to give chase, only to spin around in horror as she heard the cries of her friends. She quickly took in the air, dodged slag in horror as she happily watched her friends, one by one. Flaybo was the first to go down. The princess rolled under one wielding an axe, was swinging it clumsily in hope it might hit her. She managed to roll behind it, slashed across the back of the knees, but she made a collapse on him. She brought her sword out to thrust quickly in the neck, pulled it out again. She heard another come up from behind her with a trident. Although the duplicates shared the same voice and copied each other in battle, however, they all moved and fought differently from each other. Rainbow jumped back as the duplicate with the train, thrust the three-pointed head at her, and missed her barely, but gave her time to counter with her own sword thrust, which took it quickly in the chest. Before she could pull it out, the claw of the duplicate hit her in the chin and sent her onto her back. She jumped up by her hooves, but the butt end of the long axe slammed to the back of her head, knocking her out. Several duplicates surrounded Rarity, but she felt Rarity. The fear now had gone, and replaced with a peaceful calm despite being surrounded and forced to fight. She felt good knowing Dancer was by her chest, ready to defend her. One suddenly stepped forward, brandishing his sword at her. One weapon was curved while the other was straight. Quickly made a feint attack with his straight sword, leaving the curved one back so it could make the killing blow. Rarity dodged the first attack, then deflected the second with Dancer. Then fired an electrical bolt from her horn, was quickly disintegrating the ancient duplicate. Thank you, Twilight, for teaching that, she thought. Another duplicate with a huge greatsword quickly charged at her, swinging the blade at a wide arc, forcing Rarity to duck. She moved forward to make a fatal blow, but the duplicate brought his sword back and deflected it, pushed her back, and raised the sword again, hoping to use the pommel of the blade to strike her down. She deflected the pommel away, and spun around, stabbed to the side. The duplicate went down and began to melt. Take that, you ruffian! She cried triumphantly. She turned around to face the next opponent, only to see the tip of an elbow slam in her face. Then she saw no more. Piggy was next. She jumped into the air and high kicked one in the face with such force the neck snapped. She landed on her hind legs and stabbed another through the stomach. She spun away from that one and slashed through the chest of another. Several of the duplicates backed away in horror at the ferocity of the pink pony, was now surrounded by half a dozen melting duplicates. There came at her from behind, swinging its sword to go through her neck. Piggy's ear twisted the attack coming behind her, waiting until the very last second to duck. The blade missed just inches between her mane and the sword's blade. She spun low and stabbed through the groin up. The duplicate howled in pain, while the ones around her both whistled a sound. She pulled the sword out and tempted the others to come at her. A sudden cry of one of her friends made her spin towards its source. She gasped when she saw Rarity fall after being knocked in the face with an elbow. She growled and prepared to charge, but suddenly felt something like a hammerhead hit her on the back of the head, and her world went dark. Sweat began to pour down Applejack's forehead. She tried to block attack after attack coming from a duplicate. It was quick with a sword. She blocked the next one, suddenly felt the wind ticking out of her as a fist slammed at her belly. She fell to the floor, a hoof holding over her belly, as she tried to get her breath back. Don't fall yet, Applejack, she told herself in thought. First ass cannon on you. The duplicate walked around her, brought his sword in the air, and used the tip of the back of her neck. Before he could hit home, Applejack rolled to the right, brought her sword to the right leg, and cut deep into it. Razor staggered, trying to regain its balance. Applejack seized the moment and stabbed to the belly, killing it instantly. She pulled the sword and spun around, expecting more to face her. She glanced to her right, her eyes widened as she saw the tip of a rainbow-colored tail laying on the ground. Applejack instantly began to gallop towards her friend, hoping she was still alive. She headbutted a duplicate coming from her side in the stomach, sending it to the ground, slashed at a duplicate coming in from the front, and pushing it aside, stopping beside her friend. Blood dripped from the back of Rainbow's head where she was hit. Her chest was rising so she was alive, at least for the moment. Applejack's teeth gritted together and her face darkened. You don't play, Maurice! She cried, running up and slicing down the chest of a duplicate coming from behind her. Another large club in his claw came at her next, sneering and growling as it approached. Applejack raised her leg again to strike down, but found her leg caught in the freeing claw of the duplicate, and headbutted again in Applejack, sending her on back. She shook her head to clear the dizziness, attempted to get up again. She didn't make it far, however, when the duplicate slipped the club down and whacked it hard against her skull, knocking her out. Twilight watched each of her friends go down with tears in her eyes, unable to do anything except at once. Her chest rose and fell quickly and heavily, while her horn glowed as fierce magenta while it created a shield around her. She keeping the duplicates away from her for a while. She fought fiercely, so hard her brother would likely be envious if he was here. But in the end, the sword swung down against her so hard the blade shattered, forcing her to use the shield. On the shield lay 20 or 30 melting duplicates she had taken down. Many more were disintegrating as they crashed against her shield and attempted to take it down. The tactic that eventually worked, Twilight knew, but to give Fluttershy a chance to find the controller. She looked up, aghast to see Fluttershy hovering over duplicates. Tears pouring down her face as she watched her friends fall. Now it was her fall. Go! She screamed at her. Fluttershy shook her head hastily, finding her way to help Twilight go after the controller. You have to stop it, Fluttershy! Just go! At that moment, the shield broke as she collapsed to the ground exhausted. While Duplicate came up from behind, bronze club down on her head. Fluttershy looked away, so she was unable to dim out the sound of the club hitting her friend's skull. She felt like a coward. Friends had fallen only because of her. She just watched as each was taken down, one by one, while she did nothing. I'm a coward, she said to herself. Mocking laughter soon echoed across the prison, making Fluttershy turn around to the source. She gritted her teeth in anger and raced into the darkness to find the source of the laughter. Her friends might be gone, but she wasn't going to let their sacrifice be for nothing. Twilight's vision was blurry at first. She saw a mismatch of black and dark gray and white, coming together like some twisted painting. As she felt herself moving, and realized she was being dragged, for her belly felt cold against the cold stone beneath her. She blinked a few times, her vision clear, as she saw what was around her. Multitudes of duplicates were looking at her with malevolent eyes, each brandishing a weapon at her, making threatening gestures at them. She looked back to see she was being dragged by the tail by a duplicate. They quickly squirted about in a bid to get free. Herself being thrown into the air, landed in a circle where the rest of her friends were now kept. Elsec was squirming under the foot of a duplicate, trying to push it off of her head, unable to get far due to her own head screaming out in pain. Pinky was conscious, but she was completely still as she wasn't. She blinked every now and then, but her eyes gave away to fear and sorrow. Rainbow was closest to Twilight, struggling to get back up like Applejack. Was making a better job at it. On the ground, she pushed the duplicate off and sent it staggering away. She quickly tried to get back up, was pushed back down again. Twilight was sorting the top of her head in case she tried again. Twilight could see if Rarity was awake, for she was facing away from her. A large foot covered her head, and relieved to see her sides rise and fall. Girls! She cried, trying to get back on her hooves. She made it halfway before she felt a foot digging into her back, making her cry out in pain, pushed back on her belly. I would stay still if I were you. How are you all? Twilight asked. Yeah, never felt better, Rainbow said sarcastically, grating her teeth to the pain she was feeling. Is Rarity awake? Rainbow shook her head. She's got a nasty black eye, and a large bruise where an elbow ran into her face. Jack said, crying out with a duplicate holding her down. Pushed a little hard for her own good. I won't stand. Why don't we just kill us? Only when the last of the Dragonlords' lifeblood has stained the floor, then you will die. The duplicates answered in a lifeless tone. Twilight's eyes rained in fear and hope. She saw Rainbow struggling even harder to get away from the duplicate. Rainbow, stop! Just stay still. Stay still! Rainbow cried. How can I stay still knowing one of my best friends is about to fight alone? She tried getting up again. No success. And how can you just lie there? Because I have faith in Fluttershy to do what needs to be done, Twilight replied. She isn't the point that's scared of anything anymore. She's a Dragonlord, Rainbow. A warrior without peer, with the blood of possibly the greatest warrior that ever lived in Flames. If I'm right, if anyone can take down Heimdall, it's her. But what do you do? Pinky whimpered. Slowly and painfully, she reached out a hoof for Pinky to take hold of. Pinky reached out to hers and merely touched Twilight's home. Pray, she answered. Pray and hope that Fluttershy has the strength to end him. The 4 points instantly relaxed, closed her eyes, and began to pray. Fluttershy couldn't recall how long she had been flying in the darkness, or how long it had been since she had left her friends behind and ran out to find the controller to take them down. Either way, she hadn't heard anything from the controller since. It was beginning to unnerve her. She looked around until suddenly she saw what looked like a faint light in the torch in the far distance. Taking to the air again, she followed it, hoping it would lead her to Heimdall. She looked back every now and again, in case the other duplicates were following her, or one or all of her friends suddenly appeared. She highly doubted. She watched them fall, and were probably dead with gaping holes from sword wounds. She quickly cleared her head to rid herself of the thought. They had been through a lot, the 6 of them. but surely she could survive this. She hoped so, for she promised herself she wouldn't go back home without him. She eventually arrived at the place of light. It gasped at its beauty. It was a large torch still rests on a sconce on the side of a pillar. She was surprised to see it burning, especially after what might have been less than 5,000 years down here in the cold and dark, with no pony to illuminate it. She suddenly noticed the flame glowing a dark blue hue for a minute, before returning to its original orangey glow. Magic flame, she guessed. What must be the very center of the prison? She looked around for a sec, before looking back at the sconce holding torch. The sconce in question was curved to look like a dragon, its bat-like wings spread out, now holding a piece of the torch slot to it. And in its claws was a large circle, perfectly formed to fit whatever fitted in it. Larsa tilted her head as she guessed that it was big enough to fit the key she had tucked away in her mane. Curious, she took the key out of her mane and held it in her hooves. Saw to her complete shock the key was a perfect fit. But how, in Celestia Luna's Vidar's names, is this possible? She wondered. Sarswell created 5 keys, her father told her. Yet wasn't around when this prison was built. Then again, did he create them? And even if it did, set this up down here, why didn't he place the key in the hole and do what needed to be done? Why just leave and leave him alive? Her head began to play a nasty beat as she became more confused by the second. Indian no more friends to aid you. As I turned away from the sconce to look at her father's killer. In his right claw was a long, two-handed blade, glowing red-hot as it had been pulled from the fire it had been forged in, while his left was hidden behind his back. Whatever was behind him, she already didn't like it. Hindar's scales were tar black, as did the fire as he now had run out of his reserve magic. And from now on, it would be a fight with blades. Fluttershy gulped down the lump in her throat, and quickly hit the key in her mane. Her heart and head was beating at an alarming rate, but she ignored it. She felt her nerves once again disappear to be replaced not with anger, something else. She began walking forward towards the dragon, her heart and mind steeled as she readied herself for this battle. Inga fled mystic scorn, and make a step back. No more magic to shield you, he said. Hindar began walking forward, the point of his sword barely gazing the ground, with malice burning in his eyes. By Fetner serve me, to skill with the blade. Or for Sultan, and wits. Where's I finished for him? The two were now standing about 8 feet apart from each other, anticipating who was going to strike the first blow. First I reared up and presented Firewing and Dradesbane in salute pose, both still dripping in the blood of the duplicates he had brought down to get here. Hindar chuckled in gesture. Jack Vicker, Fetter Respectkin, Fluttershy Infants. Am I really worth respect? Fluttershy Firewing. Anna Sakamot, the very good, yeah, Fetter Respect. Everyone that goes against the Dragonlords is worth respect. First I replied. Hindar chuckled once more. Well, I'm not the one standing on ceremony. Let's get this over with. He took a few steps forward, and revealed from his back a large, perfectly rounded flail like a wrecking ball, and held on by a long chain in his left claw. Whereas I barely had time to react as he swung it towards her skull. As he fell hard to the ground and let the ball hiss at her. She got up and charged forward, hoping to use the break between swings on her advantage. Hindar brought the flail close to him, distorting the length of the chain, then floating high in the air before crashing down towards her. Horseye hopped to the right in front of it, while crashing down to the stone and denting it. Hindar brought it up again and gave another swing, this time low to catch her legs. Horseye saw it coming and jumped like a filly would with a skipping rope. She charged once again, while Hindar kept taking large steps back, swinging the flail once more. This time he took the lead, swinging it low, and Fluttershy jumped into the air, thinking she had him red. But at the last second, Hindar raced it high enough for the ball to smash to her left side with the force of a train. Fluttershy's eyes widened in agony as the flail smashed into her side. The pain she had from the attack was so much she thought she might pass out. Yet she stayed awake. Her body knowing she fell unconscious she would lose. She felt herself fly for a moment before her right side smashed against a pillar, and her belly hit the stone floor. She gritted her teeth hard, fighting down the urge to release the scream of pain that was on her lips. Found herself winning that fight. I will not scream, she promised herself. Haidar wants to break me first, but he'll be disappointed when he will hear a squeak from me. He might beat me in this duel, but he won't win at breaking me. Haidar sneered as he saw Fireside laying there, left wing mangled beyond recognition, blood sleeping out where her wing mates turned on her. It was time to finish this. Raised and flailed to him once more, swinging behind him at full length in the air, once as the ball moved in to crush Fireside's skull. Fireside looked up and saw the ball coming. First her mind told her to just rest and wait for the final piece. But then suddenly another voice came in, one that sounded familiar. Don't give up, the voice said. We're all counting on you. Whoever it was enough. Fireside's eyes snapped open as she jumped back, letting the ball slam to the ground before her. Before Haidar could bring it back, she brought out Drake's Bane and severed the ball of her chain. She looked down and now menacing flail to Haidar, who was staring at her in disbelief. In disbelief turned into a snarl. He dropped the chain and brought his sword up so he was holding it with two claws. With a cry of rage, he charged towards, flaming white-hot blade humming in intense flame. Fireside went back down on all fours, charged forwards. She whispered a brief prayer draconic before rearing up once more, meeting Heindar's sword with her Drake's Bane. The two blades clanged constantly down each other with a force that would send shockwaves if it could. Both opponents nearly lost their balance, but quickly regained it by pulling away from each other. Haidar attacked again, raining attack after attack on the Dragonlord from the left, right, high, and low. Yet every time Fluttershy was able to jump back, duck, or use her swords to parry. Haidar took another step forward, brought his sword down above his head. Fluttershy fought the blow with both swords. Suddenly, Haidar released the claw from the sword, glanced his soft fingers across Fluttershy's left cheek. Fluttershy staggered, holding a hoof where Haidar struck, giving Haidar a chance to finish her. He took his swords and claws once more, and made ready to slip down onto her skull. Just as he struck down, Fluttershy recovered and rolled around him, cut out the dragon's right wing with Drake's Bane. Haidar howled in pain that he had been given, spun around to face her. Fluttershy now had 3 long scratches across her left cheek and below an eye, and they wept blood. Yet through it all, Fluttershy stayed calm and cool. She charged once again, jumped and thrust Drake's Bane forward, slat aiming through his throat. Haidar jumped back, took a step forward, swung the blade low, hoping to catch her neck. Fluttershy brought her head low, making her miss the blade by inches. She reared up again and tried to thrust her swords into Haidar. Haidar stepped back and deflected Drake's Bane and blocked Fire Wave, sparks spitting out Haidar's sword on contact. Haidar attacked again, this time with a swing from above the head. Fluttershy stepped aside and then bucked out with her hind legs, hitting him in the stomach and winding him. Grinning, Fluttershy spun back around, reared up, and brought Drake's Bane down onto his head. At the last moment, Haidar brought his sword up and blocked the blow. Then with his free claw, punched Fluttershy hard in the stomach and sent her on her back. Slowly, he got up and gave his sword a few swings, and slowly walked towards the Dragonlord. Fluttershy rolled back onto her belly and began to get up, presenting her back to him. Grinning at the chance, he brought his sword up and swung it down, the tip of the sword cutting between her shoulders right down to the tip of her tail. Fluttershy's eyes widened once more at the pain she was feeling. She felt Haidar's sword go down to her back. But again she did scream. I'll not scream, I'll not scream, not scream, she kept telling herself. She stood on her hind legs for a moment, and her face distorted as she tried to get back to the scream she wanted to release, before collapsing back onto her stomach, blood dripping from the long line that now ruined her back. Haidar chuckled, pleased he was actually winning. Won was the better term for it. It was a surprise Fluttershy was able to take a flail to the side like she did, stand and fight. But now, there was no chance to be able to get up for Nat. Fluttershy felt her breath quicken, began to see her life flash in front of her. Oh my, I have an overdue library book. Again! Guys, I'm sorry, this is all the jokes you're getting. She saw her friends, the crushes she had, the places she visited, the lives she helped in the future. where it would all come crashing down in fire. Fluttershy! The voice called out again. This time, however, it sounded like Twilight's. I don't know if you can hear me, or this spell's working, but I have faith in you. We all do. If you're down, if you're the first to giving up, don't! Please don't give up. We need you, as you need us. Fluttershy's eyes snapped open once again. With a grunt of pain, she started getting back on her hooves. Her hind legs thin, with all the strength she had left, forelegs, till she was standing at full height. She slowly turned around to face Hindar, and a look of sheer disbelief on his face. You fight well, he said, aggressively impressed, for someone who abhors violence. You're right. I do hate violence. I hate killing and anything to do with it. Fluttershy responded. Hindar's laugh echoed across the prison. Then why do you fight? Why not just accept my offer and live down here? Why do anything you have been done tonight? Because I have 5 reasons worth fighting for! She replied. If anybody would care to play an awesome song right about now, now's a pretty good time. May I suggest Fluttershy's image songs, or one of Fluttershy, or Kindness, or, even play together if you want. With a cry, she galloped forward, ignoring any pain that she was feeling to the best of her ability. Upon reaching Hindar, she reached up, began attacking him in a number of furious slashes with her swords. Hindar managed to block every type effortlessly, his sword producing ferocious sparks as it made contact with her swords. Fluttershy stepped back, going in and swinging his sword down above him. Her gambit worked. Hindar slung the sword over his head and brought it down. Quickly, she deflected the sword with Rage Beam, charged forward, thrusting Fire Wing to his stomach. Applejack! She cried as Fire Wing went in. She pulled it out and took a step back. Hindar, roaring with rage and pain, charged at her, swinging his sword out like he was possessed. She was able to duck every swing, step aside from every swoop. Hindar was right. Having a clear head was helping her think clearer and bow, while Hindar seemed to be lost in a rage. Fluttershy ducked low and dived between his legs, slashing with her OK wing blades at his right leg. Rainbow's ass! Hindar, snarling in pain, spun around and raised his sword again, thrust it towards her. With a hoof, she pressed down on the claw holding his sword, then with Fire Wing hiked it off. Where is Jane? She cried out Rarity's name, every syllable as she brought down Fire Wing into Hindar's arm. Once finished with the arm, she spun him around and slashed across his back. Piggy Pie! She moved back in front of him, looked him in his eyes. It was full of shock, pain, and fear. And Twilight Sparkle! She jumped to the air, slashed Rage Beam through the neck, severing the head of the body, silencing the word of defiance from Hindar's lips. And then the whole Hindar's body exploded into tiny chunks of magma. Get off of me, you vile creatures! Rarity yelled. She tried to get away from the grip of the duplicate above her. Thus he finished speaking. The duplicates raised their heads to the ceiling and let out an agonizing roar. The 5 ponies flattened their ears, unable to do anything else to muffle the screams coming from them. Twilight looked up and gasped disbelief as he was seeing. Slowly but surely, the duplicates were beginning to melt. Seizing its hands, Twilight tried to power up her horn again, but the only thing that came up was sizzles. That spell to contact Fluttershy must have taken a bigger toll on my mana than I thought. She mused. That, or the knock to the head, must have weakened my magic for a moment. Either way, she couldn't rely on magic. She only had her own strength she would have to do. You see what strength she had left. She pushed the melting duplicate off her back and got to her hooves. She began running around, bucking out the duplicates that held her friends. Thanks, Twa! Applejack said as Twilight held her back onto her hooves. She looked from the unicorn to the duplicates as they began to melt like candle wax into pools of magma. First, she had no idea what was going on. But suddenly clicked. Fluttershy won. This'll do it? She asked, turning back to Twilight. Unicorn looked her way and nodded. A wide grin on her face and tears of joy in her eyes. Behind her, Rainbow gave a large cry of "Woohoo!" Followed closely by Pinkie, who shouted to Pegasus a hug and danced around with her. Rarity jumped for joy and punched the air, joining Pinkie in Rainbow's hug. Applejack and Twilight joined in the hug. Soon all 5 mares were spinning around the spot, hearing with joy what they realized what had happened. It was over. After everything that had happened, Fluttershy had won. Twilight glanced to her right, and White grin faded as she saw the magma that was once a duplicate begin to crawl away. Soon another began to crawl, then another, and another, till all of them were moving into the darkness like a thick river, towards where the controller went. What's happening now? Fluttershy took the opposite duplicate controller. Peggy had spelled that was it. Now the pieces were going to be put back in place and be restored to its natural size. Battered, gravely injured, but still alive. Twilight answered, her eyes narrowing. Whether or not he continues to live is for Fluttershy to decide. Fluttershy thought she could feel the world go round. It kept going round and around and around and around like a record baby round, almost like she was falling. The world blurred out for a moment before coming back. Although there were many thoughts going through her head, one was the strongest. She had won. She had defeated him. Then the world went dark once more. The next thing she remembered was seeing large pools of magma crawling past her. She groaned as she realized that Heimdall wasn't entirely dead yet. Now she realized she would have to choose. Let him live, or finish him, and end the threat that he is to everything she holds close to her heart. She closed her eyes again, and the world went dark for a second. As she opened them again, she saw that the magma that was once Heimdall was now beginning to build up into a massive dragon again. She lowered her head to face the ground, when her gray teeth began to raise on all fours again. The move was painful, but she bent down near us to cry out. Instantly she found herself standing on all fours, just shifted them apart to straighten her stand. Careful she wouldn't be falling on her face anytime soon. She looked up to see that Heimdall's reconstruction was complete. Heimdall was lying on his belly in his huge, normal form. His black, broken wings stretched out, while blood that looked like lava flowed out from him from the main gashes of the wounds he received was split apart. One big cut where his brain was, the one she had given him. How did you do this? Heimdall choked. How did you defeat me? Because you underestimated me and my friends, Heimdall. First I replied weakly. She knew he was losing blood quickly. If she didn't get out of here soon, she would die also. But it didn't seem to matter for some reason. Heimdall closed his eyes, coughed up some lava like blood. Then, finish it. End me as you promised. Bring your vengeance and kill me. Heimdall closed his eyes and waited for the final blow. Fluttershy just stood where she was, her cold-hearted stare unyielding. Killing Heimdall was the one thing she wanted to do since she had lost her father. Now she was here. Why couldn't she? Would her father have wanted to kill him? The answer most likely would have been yes, but not out of vengeance, but out of duty like Vidar said. Killing him now would be going against the laws of the Dragonlords. She sighed and limply stepped away from him. I can't, she said. Hagar opened an eye and chuckled, spitting out some blood. Because you are weak. No, she said as loud as she could. Because I'm better than you. You lost your son in the Great War and turned your grief into rage and hatred. Turn you into this. Have you ever thought about what your son would think if he saw you? Do you think your son would love you for what you've done? The questions hit Heimdall harder than any sword or axe blow would have done. His eyes widened, his tongues clenched together as the hurt and pain came all over again. I'm not going to kill you, Heimdall, nor can I forgive you for what you've done. Instead, I'm going to turn around and leave this place. Look it behind me. You'll never get out, but you will be alive. That's more than can be said for those you have butchered. She bowed her head in respect and turned around, and went towards where the exit was. She didn't think she would get far, but she could at least try. Stop! Heimdall cried from behind her. First I stopped and looked down with contempt. Reagan closed his eyes, fighting back the pain he was feeling, both physical and mental. It's too late, Fluttershy Firewing. These wounds I have are too great that not even I can survive them. I will die in agony. Will you leave me here? Leave me in the dark to die in agony? Are you indeed the spirit of kindness? Maybe you can give me that mercy. Painfully, he raised his right claw, pointing to the burning torch and sconce behind Fluttershy. That sconce. It's what the last key is for, Dragonlord. Hydar explained. By placing that key in that hole, this chamber will break and flood, destroying the prison and killing me. It will be painful. It will compare little to what I feel for a while if you don't. First, I looked from Hindar to the sconce, then back to Hindar with a confused look.
How's that even possible? Starsword created the 5 keys. He made it to stop you using your magic.
And I imagine your father told you this, who read it from Star Wars journals. Hindar inquired weakly, making Fluttershy think he was going to lay his head down and die. Fluttershy nodded. Her teeth gritted together as a wave of pain went through her. Just because Starsword wrote it down, said this is what happened, doesn't mean it is the truth. Fireside, Fireway. Only those in power write history. And the truth is always discarded in every case, so those in power can make themselves look better.
So what's the truth behind this?
In truth, the fifth was created along with this prison, soon after it was defeated. Starsword discovered the fifth key in the Dragonlord archives upon realizing it was alive. Made 4 copies of the original to act as keys for the new door he built above the original.
Then why did they activate it? Why do all they did and then leave?
Fluttershy asked, voice above a whisper in a weak state.
You weren't sure about your survival. Then why make the key do what they intended it to do?
Hindar chuckled. It's simple, Fluttershy Fireway. The Dragonlords were the most arrogant, reckless ponies alive. They believed themselves to be superior over everything. Some even looked down upon others. Their arrogance blinded them to what truly mattered. Taking me out. Only a few saw through the veil of arrogance that the Dragonlords were cursed with. But their allegations and requests were always denied. Through their arrogance, your father, family, and friends have paid a horrible price. Fluttershy looked down. Her mind, although weakening, processed slowly what she had been told. After a while, she narrowed her eyes and shook her head in disbelief.
You're lying.
I clawed behind her and lashed out at her, hoping to get hold of her and crush her. Didn't get far as soon as he extended it, gritted his teeth and pain was forced to stop. Don't you dare accuse me of lying, he roared. There's one thing I take pride in, and that's my honesty. I have never lied to you. I have no reason to lie to you. So don't you dare call me a liar again. I might be dying, but I can still crush you like a nut. Fluttershy's legs wobbled as he tried to keep her upright.
Then, what are you waiting for?
Her body completing in protest. She reared up and stretched her forelegs out wide.
Last of the Dragonlords is before you.
Dino drop!
All you need to do is stretch out your claw and finish me. Do what you wanted to do for so long. End me. And we would both die in this war would be end with us, as it should.
Hydra coughed up some more magma-like blood in response. I can't, he choked out. First I didn't expect that. She stared back south down on all fours.
Why not?
Because I am tired, Fluttershy Fireway. Tired of killing, tired of war, tired of despair. All I want now, for it to end. Heimdall answered, You're right. My son wouldn't want to look at me as if he saw what I was. Wouldn't even want to know me if I knew what I'd done. The only way this can end for me is a quick death, one that only you can grant. So if you have any compassion left in your heart, use that key and break the spell that surrounds this place. Kill me and let this world be rid of me, and I can be rid of it. Fluttershy went from Hindar to the sconce, begged again.
I can't do that.
I do not live a life, Fluttershy Firewade. I am sickness, a concept that must be cleansed, and only you can do it. So please, do it. Do it! Fluttershy took the key out of her mane with a hoof, looked heavily towards the sconce. She felt sick to her stomach as he approached. Her heart beating faster and faster, realized what was about to do was a mercy killing. Hindar nudged her forward gently with a claw till she was right in front of it. I haven't got all day, he said. Fluttershy reared up and placed the key into the hole. Like she predicted, it slotted into the place perfectly. Now all she needed to do was push it completely in.
May I ask, What was your son's name? Fluttershy asked as he placed a hoof on the key, ready to push it forward.
Mireille, his name was,
Hydar answered. Orange smiled at his son's memory. And what was your original name? Because I know Hydar's not your true name.
My real name is Yingve,
The dragon answered. Tigriga, Nig, Fig, forgive me, Nig, Fig.
Ejeka, take a full, Fluttershy and Blink. There's nothing to forgive, Fluttershy far away.
Yigfig answered. With that, Fluttershy pushed the key forward, clicking sound echoing from it as fully placed. The moment Fluttershy pulled away, the torch above went out. Shh! Rarity whispered, raising her hope to silence her friends for all who were talking at once. What's that bubbling sound? The four ponies stopped what they were doing, listening intently to hear what Rarity had heard. At a moment, they all began to hear a rumbling sound. Low at first, but was getting louder and louder in its intensity. Please tell me that was one of y'all Stelix, Applejack said, her eyes going from pony to pony. Suddenly from above them, a large router spark burst through the ceiling, landed not too far from them. The five mares jumped back in fright and appeared. Jumped again as a narrow hole gushing with water appeared. Then another and another, until the entire prison began to fire water. Out! Twilight screamed, turning around, galloping towards the entrance. The other caught up with her. What about Fluttershy? Twilight stopped in her tracks, looked back at where Fluttershy had gone, felt awful for a moment, even thinking of leaving without her. You all get outside! I'll get Fluttershy! She ordered them. The four Tonys looked at her hesitantly. Go! C snapped out. The gate to the booth stayed wide, but they began running towards the stairs and outside. But they were safe. Tony spun around and galloped back into the darkness. She began floating the puddles of wire that was slowly beginning to fill up the prison. Fluttershy watched as the wire began to flow in, spout after spout appearing from the ceiling as the wire began to rise and fill up the prison. First, she felt like running towards finding the entrance, probably find her friends' bodies and find a way to get them all to safety. But now that felt like an idea she would never accomplish. She felt weak. She could feel one or two legs beginning to go numb. A sigh and back screamed in pain. Vision was starting to blur. For some reason it didn't matter. She collapsed into her rump, bowed her head, and waited for the end. A wheeze but pained chuckle from Hydar made her look up.
Hoeveel zitten er keer? Kanaties kasta die vlieg. Die keer ook in for the science. Why are you sitting there, ready to throw your life away? Your time is not over yet, Fluttershy far away.
Quickly grabbed a hold of her, making Fluttershy fear he was going to crush her. Instead, he gently threw her towards the entrance.
Go!
He shouted at her. Just as a jet of wire broke down through the ceiling above him, crashed against his back, hissing against his body, and went into a cool down. Hydar screamed at a touch of wire.
Run!
He screamed out. Then he disappeared under a huge set of wire and was no more. Fluttershy realized Hydar was right. Her time was not over yet. She would fight to live, even for a little while. It would be worth it just to say goodbye to her friends. She got up from the floor and began galloping as fast as she could towards the entrance, hoping she was going the right way. As she glanced back, could see the wire now filling up the chamber, coming after her in a huge tidal wave, seemingly intent to finish her. But Fluttershy had other intentions, so she ran faster. She suddenly tripped on her own hooves and fell onto her side. She tried to get back up as her strength left her. She sighed sadly, realized she won't see her friends again. They were lucky and still alive. They were all on the boat and away from here. Herself, on the other hand, knew this would probably happen. She knew it was going to be a one-way trip the moment she set foot in here. Goodbye, Twilight, Rarity, Pinkie, Rainbow, Applejack, she whispered. With that, she closed her eyes and waited for the end. She felt herself being lifted into the air. I thought for a second she would soon be seeing her mom and dad. Then changed when she heard Twilight's voice echo through her ears. Not today, Fluttershy! Fluttershy opened her eyes and found herself wrapped in Twilight's magic. Now her herself looking pained as she used her magic. She was being flown towards the unicorn. Let's get out of here! Twilight said, gently placing the Pegasus on her back. I'm okay. Fluttershy said, her vision blurring as she started to feel weaker and weaker. Twilight looked ahead to see wire beginning to flood the chamber. She heard Fluttershy produce a wheezy breath. She didn't know if Fluttershy would make it, but she had to try and save her. She spun away from the wire and began galloping as hard and fast as she could in her state. The only thing keeping her going was her and Fluttershy's survival. She veered away as another jet of wire crashed through the ceiling, and joined the others in fleeing the chamber. Twilight wasn't sure how this was happening, but it mattered little now. She suddenly saw stairs. Brought her head towards the ground and galloped even quicker out. "We're nearly there! Just hang on!" she called to Fluttershy, even though the Pegasus could barely hear her friend. Twilight made it to the stairs just before the water managed to catch up with them. She raced up the stairs, taking each step in threes. She looked back once more, saw the water just as it began to flood the stairway. Feeling slightly exhausted at their situation, she slowed her gallop, but quickly realized Fluttershy still needed help. Began to take the stairs 3 at a time once more. For 10 minutes or so, she could see the first hill light outside and smiled. She looked at the last few, and was soon back at the light of dawn. She looked eastward to see the top of the sun rising over the mountains. "Look at that sunrise, Fluttershy," Twilight whispered. "Although Celestia is the one who raises it, you are the one who gave us it." Fluttershy weakly raised her head, looking to the rise of the sun. Eyes narrowed, her back covered in her blood. She raised a small, though pained smile. She watched the sun's rays shoot out from the sun and into the sky. "Woohoo!" Twilight's smile faded when she saw the full extent of Fluttershy's injuries. She turned to face where the boat was. As the horror, she saw her only chance of escape drifting away from the island. Chris watched with solemn eyes as it departed. "I'm sorry, Twi," Applejack said. "We just got here. Saw the boat float away. We couldn't stop it in time." Fluttershy let out a breath of air. Then all twice back onto her right side. "Fluttershy!" The 5 ponies cried, rushing over to the fallen Pegasus and trying to get it back up. They all jumped at the sound of something being broken apart. Whilst their horrors, one of the mountains that looked so sturdy suddenly collapsed in on itself. From it came a whoosh of water began filling the Horsekin Sea up. The spell that had this place together was broken, and now a place of magic was collapsing in on itself. It leaving no trace of Heindar's existence. None. "We did it, girls," Fluttershy whispered, loud enough for them to hear. "No, Fluttershy, you did it. You saved us all." Applejack said, tears pouring from her eyes. She was happy but didn't want to believe it. Fluttershy was saying her goodbyes. Fluttershy shook her head. "I didn't save you. I brought you all here now. You're all going to die because of me. I brought this about, and I'm sorry." "Oh, don't worry about that, Fluttershy. Just save your energy," Twilight said, trying to think of a way to save them all. But every escape plan she had escaped her. Looked towards Rainbow. "Rainbow, save yourself. You don't need to die here." Rainbow looked at her plainly for a moment and replied, "You kidding me, right? But I cut off my own wings to leave you all." They all bowed their heads as they realized this was it. "Well," Fluttershy whispered, "I'm glad I'm with you all. Here at the end." Twilight smiled, wrapped her forelegs around Fluttershy. Even as tears poured down her cheeks, the others followed in quick succession, having one last group hug before the end. "We've been through a lot, all of us," Rarity said, sniffing back her tears. "We had some good moments, some bad ones, and I wouldn't pass any of it for the world," the others agreed. "I just wish I could say goodbye to my sister. And my parents." "We all do, Sugar Cube," Applejack said. "I'm sure they'll hear us, wherever they are." She emphasized this by sounding sky. "Applebloom, Ray Smith, Blake Mac, I love you all. Remember, Blake." "Cinderbell, Mother, Father, I love you all with my heart. Don't forget me." Rarity followed Applejack's example. Rainbow looked down at both and followed her example. "Mom, Dad, I might not have been the best daughter you had. I know it might have been a harsh way I said to both of you last time we saw each other. I always loved you both dearly. I couldn't have asked for better parents. Remember me as I was." Pikachu tears to call the sky. "Mom, Dad, Inky, Blinky, sorry for rambling like I did. There's been a moment gone by when I wanted to see you all again, see how you're getting on. I love you." Twilight was last. "Mom, Dad, Shining Armor, Cadence, Spike, I hope you can hear me. I love you all so much. And I'm sorry." First I glanced at the cold water close in around them, then upwards where the sun was rising. She gave a small smile. She knew she was the one who gave the world this, but it cost seemed too much. Why did her friends have to die also? It mattered little now. She was beginning to feel nothing. She breathed a sigh of content as she prepared herself to join her mother and father. And then the world went black.